Now, the other way that you can get rid of unwanted artifacts in your image is to use what's known as the patch tool. And that's located right here, and it works kind of strange, and I'll show you exactly how it works. But it works very, very well when other things don't work. In other words, you've got a crowded area, and you're trying to use the spot healing brush, and it keeps bleeding over from areas right here or here. And if you can't get rid of the bleed over on the spot healing brush, then drop down to the patch tool, and you should have an end to your problem. So let's look at this area right here, and we're just going to take this and draw a little circle around it, about the same size as the diameter for your healing brush tools, and we'll go ahead and establish that right there. Then we put the cursor in the middle of the marching ants, left click on it, hold it down, and then just drag it to another area. Now this is also, we're sampling from this area here, and it's going to automatically transfer over to here with a match for luminosity being automatic. So when we get rid of that, we can see that it did a very, very good job as well. Now let's look at this little area right here, and we'll take this and we'll just move it up to here. And it really doesn't matter where you put it. You can put it way up here, it'll sample back down. There's no limit in the image where you can source from. In other words, grab this area right here and put it automatically down here. So let's go ahead and do that, and that looks very, very good. Happy with that result, and so on and so on. Now, for this next part, I'm going to work on the area under the eyes. Now, it's not too bad with Laura in this particular shot. She's got a little bit of makeup on, which hides some of the darkness that's under her eyes, but there's still some work that we need to do here. So for this next part, I'm going to go ahead to the Layers palette, and I'm going to establish two copy layers with a Control-J or Command-J on the Mac to establish two new copy layers. I'm going to take the top layer, and I'm going to use, again, the patch tool, and we'll start right here and come around, draw the selection. You've heard the word selection before. And we're going to move it and try to smooth some of these little wrinkles and dark areas out. But however, we don't have a lot of room down here to work. We can probably bring it over here, but I'm worried about the texture match. If you look, the pores on her skin are a little bigger than they are over here on her actual area under the eye. So the key is to find a source area that's going to match the texture. That's going to be the hard part. Now, if you can't find anything, what you can do is a partial, what I call is a partial withdrawal. You don't pull it all the way out, but that's enough to issue a really good result on the correction. We'll hit Control-D to get rid of the marching ants and take a look at that. Very, very good result. Let's do the same thing over here, and we'll just draw the selection. And again, we're going to not come out all the way, just partially. Just drop it down a little bit. Just see what happens, and again, that is a very good result. Control-D or Command-D to get rid of the marching ants. The problem I have with this result is that it's too perfect. A 45-year-old woman does not have absolutely perfect skin under her eyes, plain and simple. So we don't want to try to take a 45-year-old woman and make her look 20. That's just not going to work. So we have to live with the, and I hate to use the word defects, but for lack of a better way to describe it, we have to live with a little bit of the imperfections, which I think is a better word to use, on a person's face, but we want to reduce them. We just want to kind of clean up her appearance a little bit without really presenting a false magazine cover rendition of who she really is. So the way to kind of do that is to go to opacity, and let's just drop this down to 50%. And what we've done is that you can see that there's still a little hint of some natural wrinkles and discoloration, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. So let's take a look. This is before, and this is after. And in fact, there's a case to be made for bringing this down just a little more. We want to completely get rid of the imperfections. I like that word better. So there's that and there's that. It's not a big difference, but it's enough to really give you an improvement on her face. So then we come up and we're going to go ahead and flatten the image to combine everything, and here we have the result of using the patch tool for both to get rid of this area, the wrinkle right here, and then of course the area under the eyes. So you're going to use the patch tool a lot. If you do portraits, this is going to be something you're going to be working with just about every single time you do post on anyone's face.